Hello there, friends. Welcome back to my channel. It's Amy here, and today I am going to think out of the box and create a two-page layout using the new kit, Calm and Bright. This is a card kit and it is darling. It launched on October 1st, and as you can see, you create three each of three different designs. And if you know me, you know I am a big fan of these brown box kits, as I like to call them, from Stampin' Up. And I like to create one set of cards exactly how the instructions show, and then I like to create a layout from the other pieces. So let me just walk you through what comes in this kit. So this is an image of the stamp set that you get with the kit, and I do love the stamp sets that come in the brown box kits and in the paper pumpkin kits. They really have a lot of value for the kit as well as beyond. I'm always pulling these stamp sets and using them on other projects. This particular kit comes with a Lost Lagoon Stampin' Spot. You of course get your memory dots and your dimensionals. The embellishments are just so cute. These teeny tiny dots. You've got them in the white, and I believe this is pretty in pink maybe. And then you get a whole spool of twine, and you get a bunch of darling punch outs. So this one's got colorful trees and snowflakes. This one has these darling little tags, and then I think I have some that are punched out. Yeah, all kinds of journaling spots and banners to stamp your images on. You'll see me work with these in a minute. And then another sheet that's got more of these strips that you could stamp your sentiments on or use as journaling strips. And then you've got some sprigs, some deer, some houses, some baubles. And then this is kind of like pearl paper. It's a specialty paper, and I'm sure the camera is not picking up the extent of its beauty, but it's like frosted paper, and we've got it in trees and different sprigs. The envelopes are darling. You can see the little, it looks like there's like a snow blizzard going on the inside, so when you open your flap up. And all of the envelopes and the card bases, it's not your typical envelope and card base texture. It's smooth, but it's got texture to it. It's like it feels like a very high class quality of paper. So you get all of your card bases, and then you do get, I might have used them. Oh, here's one. You do get, I love this die cut. This is a punch out. We're definitely going to be using it. Here's another fun punch out. And then this particular piece, it's again that really unique texture paper. It's got detailing around the edge, kind of like it's scored. And then here is another shape of die cut. So it's just a really, it feels very high class, which is kind of cool. And then I did put together one each of the designs. I have my kit together tonight, my in-person kit together party, and so I'm getting ready for that, and I like to have samples for them. So here are the cards, and again, you get to make three each of the cards, so you can see all the dimension in this. And this one's kind of fun because it opens at the top. But I just love it. There's a lot of white space, which I usually don't do a lot of white space, but I think it's sometimes less is more, and it's just striking. So you can see all the dimension. I love this notebook pad die cut and all the layering mixed in with the stamps. And then this is the last one. And you can see how we use the dots, those cute little petite dots on these cards. So this is the that scored, like scored border. It's just fabulous. I'm really excited for my participants to come tonight and put these together. So as I was putting these together, it reminded me of some photos I have from a fun night my daughter and I had a year ago, December. And I thought, how fun to maybe take some of these designs from the cards and put them on a layout. I mean, it's all done for me with all the layering and everything. So what I'm going to attempt to do is recreate some of these scenes on a layout with these photos. And I mean, did I not get lucky? These photos match the aesthetic and the color combination in these cards perfectly. And I'm going to pair it with a new specialty paper that came out. This is an online exclusive, and it is called the Silent Snowfall 12 by 12 specialty paper. And it's a white paper, but can you see the embossed snowflakes on this? It's so dainty yet so pretty, and I think that will pair perfectly with not only my photos but with these cards as well. And then I'm going to use a lot of cardstock in these colors. So I did some pre-cutting to save time with the assembly of this. Let me clear my desk. I've already got my glass mat out, and we will get started. All right, so for the base of my my layout, I'm just going to use some of the title pages that come with all of the kits in the DSP. This makes great use of scraps and recycling. So we're going to start with that as the base, and then, as I mentioned, I pre-cut some of my specialty paper, and then this is the Bubble Bath light side cardstock. So that's going to go like that, and then I have these two strips. So this is a 1/2 inch by 12, and this is 3/4 inch by 12, and that's gonna go like that. And then I did cut up some of the inside of the envelopes so you can see that pretty snowfall, and this is gonna serve as a photo mat, so you can see the little snowfall. It's just subtle, but I think that matches really well. And I wanted to bring in more of the peacock color, the light side, so we'll double mat that. And then for the 4x4 photo, this is a 4x6. Again, I just cut up the envelope. So here's what I have left of the envelopes. That's the flap, and I can definitely put that to use with something else. But I just unassemble the envelope, and then I make use of the inside. So this will be the mat for this one, and I just think the colors are perfect. I got lucky. And then we've got another piece of the peacock on the light side. And I do like to double mat my photos. Usually one of the mats will be 1/8 of an inch bigger, and the other will be 1/4 of an inch bigger. So it all depends on the layout. So then I took a piece of cardstock. This is from Close to My Heart. It's linen color, and so it's not white, it's not vanilla. it's a mix, and I thought that that went well with the colors in the envelope. And we are going to take the image from our stamp set that looks like snow is falling, and I am going to use a gray granite Stampin' Spot. Now, one thing I want to tell you, if you get this kit, in the brochure of assembling the cards, it shows the stamp color as gray granite, but that was a mistake. It's actually Lost Lagoon. So if when you get your kit, you're like, why do I have Lost Lagoon? Is that a mistake? No, it's not a mistake. It was supposed to be Lost Lagoon the whole time. And I do like the Lost Lagoon stamped images. This again is the stamp set, and this image is what we're going to random stamp this sheet of paper. This is I believe it's 3 by 11.5, and we're going to stamp it, and then we are going to give it a dovetail. I'm going to get my all-purpose mat so that I can stamp off the sides. Bring this in like this, and then I'll start this on camera, and then I'll finish off camera so I don't bore you. And one thing I've learned with using these, oops, see, like that, I stamped kind of too hard. You want to go very gentle. But what we're going to do is just we're creating our own DSP by just adding a little bit of design to a solid piece of cardstock. And it's a great way to add some more interest to a solid piece of cardstock. So just remember, when you are using these Stampin' Spots, and even the regular size Stampin' Ink pads, you don't need to press hard. A light hand is all you need to do. And I always have to remind myself, because I am that person who I grip hard on a pencil or a pen. I tend to stamp hard. I press too hard in the ink. So just very gentle and delicate, just like this kit. All right, so you can see I've well on my way. I know I've shared this in the past, but let me just share it one more time. When I random stamp, I always like to start in the middle, and then I create triangles. So there is a side of a triangle, then I can go here, and then I can go here, and I rotate the stamp depending on what the shape of the stamp is. But if I keep in mind that triangle design and I start in the center, I am usually 99.999% successful at making my pattern paper look like it was printed on a printer and not hand stamped by me. So I hope that makes sense to you. I will finish stamping this, and I'll be right back. Alrighty, I am all done. You can see I have a few little bigger bursts of snow, but that's okay. I like that. And I went ahead and did another strip because I'm going to use this on both the right and the left side of my layout. So what I'm going to do next is dovetail both of them. So I just eyeball the center, cut a slit, and then go from 1/4 up to the top of that slit, and then the other corner up to that slit. And that is what we call a dovetail. We'll do the same thing on this one. And I do pretty much all the time eyeball this. I find that if I try to measure, it comes out much more crooked. Okay, so I will save one of these for the right side, and we will continue with the left. So I am going to, I don't know, bring this, adhere this about 1 inch up from the bottom, and then you can sit this here like this. I'm just so excited with how the colors in my photos are perfect for this kit. And then we'll do this, and having the little snow peek out behind the mats is perfect. So we'll do this, and then we can do our title. And I will tell you that I was thinking about the title, and I thought it would be fun to do festive fun, because that's exactly what my daughter and I did, is we had some festive fun. So I pulled I love the alphabet dies from Stampin' Up! And so this is the a la mode set. So they're tall and skinny. And I took my peacock cardstock and cut out the letters to spell festive. And I used the adhesive sheets so that I made them into stickers, so I do not have to fuss with adhering any glue. And I know I have showed you how to use the adhesive sheets, but I'm going to show again because we have some new people here. But this is what I'm thinking: festive. And then I got my banner alphabet dies. Again, another huge favorite. I keep these out all the time, all of my alphabet dies, because I use them with everything. So these are big, bold, and thick. They are about 2 inches in height, and I love them. So I cut out the word fun. And I think it's fun to mix and match fonts. So I would move this up a little bit. And I'm just dry fitting right now. We'll adhere once we get this done. I wanted to see. Yeah, I think that this would be fun. In fact, I think I'm going to do these in a straight line. Festive, fun. And then we could add some of these fun elements from the cards. I'm thinking maybe I could get that. That would be fun, hanging down from something. Or I could do trees, maybe do a little grouping of trees. So let me adhere all this, and then I will adhere the title with you so you can see how easy that is. But let's go ahead and show you real quick how to use the adhesive sheets. So this is what the adhesive sheets look like. They come in a pack that's 6 by 12 inches, and you can see I have some sheets that are already cut down a little bit. I think what I'm going to do is get a piece of black cardstock, and I'll use this big piece to show you, because black is a common color I use for my letters. So let me grab some black cardstock. All right, I have my black cardstock. Now you want your cardstock to be, or if you're using DSP, whatever paper you're using, you want the paper to be slightly larger than your adhesive sheet. And you want to make sure that you adhere your adhesive sheet on the back side of your paper. So when you're working with a solid cardstock that is the same on both sides, it won't matter. But if you're working with a two-tone cardstock, you'll want to make sure that you put your adhesive paper on whatever side you don't want to show. And I think I changed my mind, and I think I'm going to just trim this a little bit, and we'll just cut a few letters out. So then this is about 3 inches wide, so I'm going to cut this about 3 1/8. And then we can go ahead and adhere this. And I like that the adhesive sheets, they've got adhesive backing in 3 sections, so it's very easy to peel off one of those backs and apply it to your paper, and then you can get the next little section and apply that, and then we'll do the last section. And if you struggle with getting the backing off, it really is easy, but if you struggle, your piercing tool on your take a pick tool works perfect. All right, I'm going to just trim this. And then I will put my leftover sheet in here. And you can see how I store in the back. This is all cardstock and paper that have adhesive sheets, so I can pull that out when I need it. But I also share this a lot in my customer group, that when you're sitting watching a movie or a football game, that's a great time where you can just sit and cut a bunch of letters, a bunch of die cuts, and then you'll have them, you can store them, and then you'll have them ready so that when you're working on a project, you can look in your stash and see what you have available. It's a great time saver. All right, I am using my regular size die cut machine just because it was out. The mini one would definitely work. I love this machine. So we're going to put a 1 plate down, a 2 plate down, and then one of the 3 plates. Then I'm going to put my paper that I prepared with the adhesive sheet face up, because you want your letters to you don't want them to be backwards. And let's see, how about if, what should I spell? Why don't we do, we'll do joy. So I've got my J, my O, and a Y. And with the dies, there's one side has a raised up area. That's the blade. So that is the side that you want to be face down on your paper, because that's what's going to cut the paper. Then we're going to put our other 2 plate. Make sure these are lined up. Put the other 3 plate on top, and then just crank the handle, and that's all you do. And I have to tell you that I have had 3 different brands of die cut machines, and this one is by far my favorite. It cuts like butter, and I love that you don't have to change settings if you're die cutting or embossing or using a 3D embossing folder. All you have to do is switch the sandwich of the plates, and the recipe for the sandwiches is right on the 1 plate, so you never have to worry about losing your recipe sheet because it's right there. And it's so worth the investment. You will use it every day. It's a great thing to put on your Christmas list if you don't have one. And there is a mini one as well, and that one I have, and I use that one a lot. It's adorable. Everything is small. Everything is so cute when it's miniature. But I get asked a lot, if I could only get one, which would you get? And I would recommend the regular size one because it fits all of the embossing folders. So Stampin' Up! Has embossing folders in a variety of sizes, and the regular size will fit all of them. So you can see when you're paper does not come out, your cuts don't come out of the blade, then I just take my take your pick tool. I have the piercing tool tip, and I just put it through the little holes on the die, and they pop out perfectly. So that is an example on how you can use the adhesive sheets, and what you're more or less doing is making your own stickers. So you can use that with alphabet sets, with anything. And so I have a lot more cardstock that's got the adhesive back on it. So I will just stick it in here with my adhesive sheets, and I'll have it ready to go when I need some more black letters. All right, so now I'm going to adhere all the pieces to this left side, and then we will add our title. All right, everything is adhered. And I think what we'll do is adhere the fun title first. And that way I'll know how to adhere the festive. So I'm going to start with the middle letter. Whenever there's an odd number of letters in a word, I start with the middle one. And we'll put that one there. And then we'll add our other two. And then I will show you just how easy it is to take the backing off of the adhesive sheets. I tell you, it's like another product I call a neutral product, because I use it with everything. So there's our fun, and now festive, FESTIVE. So 3, 6, so it's 7 letters. So I'm going to start with the T first. And I do want this to be curved. I think that would be kind of fun if I could do that. I kind of wish, honestly, I had my photos down farther, but we're going to go with it. It's perfectly imperfect. So this is what I'm thinking. So I want the T right in the center. And do I want this to be arched a little bit more? Maybe. There we go. All right, so now I have my take your pick tool, and if you're not familiar with this, you can put different tips on them. So I have my X-Acto knife here, and I have my piercing tool. Other tips that you can get, I actually have 2 because I use them so much and I didn't want to have to keep taking the tips off. But this one has a little spatula, and it has the little rubber gummy adhesive. So if you're, or substance I should say, so if you're picking up a sequence or something, it will stick to that little rubbery thing, and then you can put it down really easily. But I'm going to use my piercing tool and just peel the backing off like this, and it comes off really easily. I will list in the description box below everything that I use on this layout, so that you'll have an easy reference. Okay, so there's the T, and now we'll do the S. I keep checking to make sure I have the letters in the right order. Sometimes when I'm talking, I make silly mistakes. You know, and as I'm adhering these and I'm looking at the snowflakes on this specialty paper, I bet another fun technique you can use with this specialty tape or the specialty papers, you can get your blender brushes and just do blending, and that would be pretty. You know, use a soft blue, or you can be, if you want to be traditional, or you could do pink or purple. That would be pretty. So how many of you are getting into the holiday spirit? Have you started making cards? Have you started your Christmas shopping? I did start my mom's Christmas album every year for, at least 15 years. I always gift my parents a Christmas album, and it's of all the photos and stories and memories of the year before. So I am working on my mom's Christmas album for Christmas 2024. And I just started it. I don't know, a week and a half ago. And between working on that and then seeing all the ads on social media and even on like the Today Show, and they're talking about shopping early and what's the popular gifts this year, it's getting me in the mood. And when I was working on assembling the cards in this kit the other day, I actually had on some instrumental Christmas music. So that's another question for you. How soon do you start listening to holiday music? And how early do you put up your Christmas tree? Our tradition is to put our Christmas tree up on Thanksgiving night. After we eat and clean up, we decorate our tree, and then we turn off our lights and we watch the Grinch, the original Grinch, the cartoon Grinch. And that has been a tradition for over 27 years. That's what we do, and it's a lot of fun. All right, so you saw how I put that together. So now what I'm wanting to do is recreate one of these scenes from the cards, and I'm thinking I want to go with the trees because we've got the tree in the background of these photos. So I do have some of these pieces already punched out. Oh, and I do want to, I love this, and I think it would be fun to kind of mess it up a little bit so it looks like it was torn out of a spiral notebook. And I was thinking I could have that popping out of here. So I'm going to get my trimmer and just trim a little bit. And then I can use this for something else. And we can stick this just to give it some interest. So I think that would be fun. Let's go ahead and do that. Get my adhesive. I have really fallen in love with the Stampin' Up! Seal Plus. I'm not a fan of the regular Seal, but I do love the Seal Plus. All right, so I think that looks good, and we'll just rough this up a little bit. I thought about distressing, but the cards are very clean, so we're just going to go for the same vibe. So then I've got these trees, and I was thinking, of doing something like this, where one could be popped up on dimensionals and the other two in the back. And I liked that, but it was kind of just floating. So I pulled out another tried and true, the Spotlight on Nature dies. This, you can see I have a lot of them already pre-cut. This collection has 2 sheets of dies, and they're all pattern circles. They all have designs on them, and they all sit in each other. You can see I use them a lot. I really need to clean them. And that's an easy way to clean these. Another tip that you can get on your Take Your Pick tool is the brush. And it comes with a foam, piece of foam, and you just run the brush over your dies and all these little specks come out. So I do like that. So I had in the envelope this particular circle already cut. So I tried that, and I thought, let's see if this will work. This kind of just grounds it. So I do like that. And then just like in the card, I have 2 of these little dainty, dainty sprigs. And we can go like this. And then we've got the little tag, and it does have the snowflake image from the stamp set stamp. So let's go ahead and do that. So see, you do not have to think of all your designs yourself. You can make a card into a scrapbook page and vice versa. Now I've already used these stamped images when I did the cards, so I don't have to season them. So there's our little snowflake. And isn't this tag just so cute? There's another one that looks like this. I just love them. And so we can stick that on and then add our little bow, and then I can, let me put the lid on this. We can add some of the little dots. So I think I like that. I think we're gonna go with that. So I'm going to use some of the dimensionals that come in the kit, and this is another area, another way that you can use take your pick tool. I tend to use more dimensionals than the instructions call for. I like I tell my daughter, and she makes fun of me. She's like, "Mom, you have so much 3D dimensionals and tape," and I'm like, "Well, you can never have too much." You can even use take your pick tool to get the backings off. But all this is double-sided foam tape that gives it dimension. Before I adhere this, though, I think we're going to adhere our little circle. So when you're wanting to add embellishments, sometimes it's nice to add them to a base, and that just grounds them. And so my circle dimensional, or my circle shape from the Spotlight on Nature, is just grounding the little cluster. Yeah, that's gonna look good. So I'll just add a little bit of adhesive. This kit also comes with the memory glue dots, so you could use those as well, but I don't want this video to last forever, so I'm trying to be cognizant of your time. All right, so that is similar to that, and now we will add our little sprigs. And how I added my sprigs on my cards, and I'm going to do that for this, is I took my fine tip liquid glue. This, unfortunately, at the time of filming this, it's out of stock, and it's always out of stock. As soon as it comes in, I think people just order multiple bottles because it never stays in stock. And I actually finally got smart, and on the website I clicked on notify me when it comes back in stock so that I can order more. All right, so that it will eventually dry, and we can just stick our cute little ball. I'm going to put another little dot here. And this glue, this fine tip glue, it lasts forever. I've had this for, what, 16 months now. This was one of the things that was on my very first order. So it does last a long time. All right, so let me get my twine right here, and we'll tie a little bow, and I think this is perfect. So I've got my bow, and we're just going to stick that right there. And then get my little embellishments. And I was trying to decide if I wanted to use pink instead of the white, but I think I'm going to go with the white. Again, another great use for the piercing tool. We'll stick one here. I always like to add add embellishments in thirds or in odd numbers. It just scientifically says that that's more appealing to more pleasing to the eye. So we've got that. And then I liked, I hope I didn't lose them. Yeah, here's the 2 holly leaves from the punch outs, and I think I got this idea from right here. So I wanted to recreate this little cluster. Let's see about those little sprigs. They're those little like pearly sprigs. These right here. So what if we, I don't know if that's going to be too much, but we'll see. This might be too much. Yeah, I don't like that, but I do like the sprig. So how about if we just do the holly? I mean, I like the holly, not the sprigs. So we'll do the holly and the berries. We might leave the tag off. I don't know. Let me try these, see if these, we like these better. Embellishing is always fun. It's kind of like when you're putting together an outfit and you're choosing your accessories, but sometimes you can go overboard, and I think that's overboard. So let's just do our little holly. So we'll do, we do right here and right here. I like that. You know what, I'm going to use a memory dot because I don't want that glue to seep through. So I'm just going to put one little dot. And I'll use my tip to take the backing off. Go. And then we'll add our little berries. One. Oops. 2. 3. And I don't know, do you think we should do the tag, or does that kind of get in the way? It's kind of cute. Let me think about that. We'll go ahead and we'll move on to the second page, the right side, and then we'll come back and we'll decide. But that that's starting to grow on me. So what I did off camera is I already set up the base page. So this is how this is going to go. So here are my photos and my photo mats. So I'm thinking again, here is some of that envelope, the inside of the envelope. We've got our peacock cardstock, and then that's that part of the card that's got the embossing on it. So I thought that would make a great mat for a photo. So on this page, we've got a triple mat. So I'm thinking that could go there. And then the same thing, that's that embossed piece. And the inside of the envelope. And we'll just dry fit this right now, and then I can adhere it off camera. So So that could go right here. And I do, when I adhere these, I am going to want to line this up so that the bottom of this photo is in line with the bottom of that one. And then on this one, it's just a double mat. And that's going to go right here. I think I'll do it like that. And then I've got these from the kit. And these can be our journaling spots. And I was thinking that we could recreate this grouping right here. So we've got the baubles, and we've got the sprigs, and then the leaves. And all I'm doing is recreating, I'm just copying this card. And then we've got the flower. And again, this one has a cute little tag, so we'll see. Maybe we'll add the tag. So the only thing I don't have is that piece, but that little die cut piece, I was thinking I could put it here, or maybe I'll do it here, because it kind of continues this, although I don't know if I like that. What if we did it, maybe I'll do it over here. Yeah, like that. So then it kind of, there's our triangle of visual. Let me show you. So a triangle of visual. So I like that. I will have to, let's go ahead and stamp the little snowflake on our baubles, because I still have that on my block. And then I will adhere all of this and come back and see what you think. Oh, there we go. Okay, friends, it is done. I put together that cluster, and again, this was my inspiration. I just copied right from the instructions in the brochure, and that's hanging down from the journaling strip, and those came right from the kit, and I just gave them a dovetail, just like we dovetailed this piece right here, and then I added the date on that little punch out piece there. And then on the left side, I did go ahead and add the tag with the bow. And again, that inspiration came right from here. So I went ahead and did all of this off camera, because whenever I do a 2-page layout, my videos are always really long, and I want to be cognizant of your time. So I just, again, followed the instructions from the kit for that. So here is a perfect example on how you can take a card kit and make it into a scrapbook page. And I still have all kinds of leftover product that I can create more of these cards. I could probably do another set of all 3 of these cards, or continue with my memory keeping with all of the fun pieces. Also would make fun tags. So don't shy away from the kits if you are more of a memory keeper than a card maker. This kit is super fun, super versatile, and really happy. Again, I will list everything in the description box below that I used. If you could go ahead and leave a comment or answer one of my questions. Have you started your holiday shopping yet? When do you put your Christmas tree up? Are you more a card maker or a memory keeper? And if you don't already subscribe, hit that subscribe button. That helps my little channel to grow. And I'll catch you on the next video. Bye-bye.